Welcome back to the living room, everyone, where we listen, learn, and live together. I'm your host, Richard Martin, and we have another exciting conversation on deck. Today's special guest has known me since I was 16 years old. We go way back, and it's such an honor to be able to have him with us. He is one of the most creative minds that I know. His pastoral leadership has allowed him to plant his feet in Ohio, Alabama, Georgia, and now he is the lead pastor of the 31st Street Seventh-day Adventist Church in beautiful San Diego, California. Please welcome to the living room my brother, Dr. Rashad Burden.
Man, it is good to be here, sir.
Yes,
Long
sir.
time coming, but I'm glad I made it.
Long time coming. I remember like it was yesterday, entering Handy Hall on the campus of Pine Forge Academy.
Yeah.
And there was Alex Carlisle, Evan Willis, and then you and Lloyd Keith.
Yeah.
And it was like as soon as our hands clasped, the rest is history.
The rest is history, man.
The rest is history, man. Do you remember that?
What a history. I remember that day vividly. I don't remember too much, but I do remember that day vividly, and what a time it has been, man.
Yeah.
Ooh, history.
It wasn't long after I arrived that I realized that God had given you then, and it's only continued to be illustrated down through the years, a very unique gift of leadership, a creative mind, which we're going to get a chance to unpack here in our conversation.
Yeah.
And I normally save this to the end of these conversations, but I got to say it now, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Man. You have no idea how much your brotherhood, your friendship means to me. Like we're at that place now where we have been through so much and seen each other through so much, man.
Definitely.
It's just one of those automatic things.
Definitely, man. And I thank God for it. We're going to start here at the beginning and just let the currents take us wherever it takes us.
Sounds good.
But man, when did you first sense the call to pastoral ministry?
So I first sensed the call to pastoral ministry here at Oakwood, though I was a spiritual leader, I guess.
Yeah.
At Pine Forge Academy, I wanted nothing to do with pastoral ministry. My father, being a pastor, Dr. Donald L. Burden, I saw it. I saw it all. I saw the good, the bad, and the ugly. And very few pastors' kids want to be pastors, and I was one of them. And I remember my call very vividly. It was my freshman year because I sensed it early. So I actually came to Oakwood as a double major.
Okay.
I was both a math major as well as a theology major. And I was going to do both because initially I wanted to go to The Ohio State University.
Come on now, OH.
To be a math teacher. But even though Dr. Hale himself walked my application, who he has a whole building named after him on campus, for some reason, I never got any word from Ohio State. So I came to Oakwood, and I remember I woke up. I was there in Peterson Hall, and as clear as day, I woke up one day, and the Spirit, audibly, let go of the math major. And I said, no. Got up, went to the cafeteria. I was on my way up the stairs, and Dr. Rupert Bushner, my uncle, Uncle Shorty is what I call him, he saw me going up, and he was like, Rashad, come here, man. And I went up, I was like, hey, Uncle Shorty, how you doing, sir? And he was like, I heard you're a double major. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a double major. He's like, nah, you need to be just a theology major. And I was like, wow. I decided not to eat in the caf that day. I went to the snack bar. Go into the snack bar, and I'm walking in, and Dr. James Doggett Sr. is in the snack bar. He's like, Burden. And I see him, I'm like, hey. And I go over, and he's like, man, I heard you're a double major. And I'm like, yeah, man, I love math. I'm good at math. And he was like, nah, you need to take a beeline straight to theology. I left the snack bar and went straight to the records office, dropped the math major, and the rest is history, man. We are here now.
Bro, as much as we have talked, I don't think I knew that you were a double major.
Yeah.
I don't even think I knew that it was even a consideration because, like you said, you've always been a spiritual leader. Yeah. So when we were at Pine Forge, I just assumed that was the pathway that you were going to go.
Right.
So in the same day or in the sequence of a short amount of time, these back-to-back words.
This is all within a 3-hour time frame. I was all the way a math major. I was in the honors wing at Peterson Hall. I was studying with what's his name? I was studying with all of the other engineering majors and all. I was studying with Robert Presley.
I
was sure.
Wow.
In my heart I'm not going to be a pastor.
Yeah. Well, you definitely have the genius and the mind to have gone in a number of different directions. But I'm glad you set the tone in that way, because it just kind of compels me to ask, sometimes we follow the pathways of spirituality with a profession in mind. So if I sense a call to pastoring, then I guess I kind of may need to order my life in this way, which is fine.
Right.
But that wasn't necessarily your draw. So my question is, when in your, I guess, formative years, did you just, as Rashad Burden, not who's going to be a pastor, not even really just because my dad's a pastor, when did, I guess, Christ become meaningful to you?
I'm so glad you asked that. So I lived, when I was in the 5th and 6th grade, I lived in Roanoke, Virginia with my older brother, Marion.
Okay.
And vividly, I remember that was where I began to have conversations with God. Like, and to this day, I attribute a lot of my spiritual formation to that time.
Okay.
And because, I don't know, grew up in church, but at a young age started having dialogues with God. And it's very difficult, I believe, to talk to God. And God not send you and not commission you and not tell you this needs to be done. So that direction, that divine direction, was kind of implanted in me very, very early. And I thought it was just regular.
Sure.
Like, everybody can just talk.
Yeah.
So I didn't think anything of it for years. For years. But that was definitely the genesis of it.
See, I'm glad that you let us know that and gave us kind of that behind-the-scenes insight. When I got to Pine Forge, I tell people all the time, my spiritual formation preceded Pine Forge, home life, but definitely was deepened at Pine Forge.
Sure.
Especially as a teenager, I came in contact with your Delmas Campbells.
Oh, yeah.
Your Chris Fielders.
Oh, yeah.
Norman Niles, talking about brothers, and they were instrumental and influential in our lives. Not to mention your Camille Kibblers, your Cynthia Pools, so the ladies on campus. And that's good from a, like, adult standpoint. But for me, the blessing of that season in our lives was just the peer influence. I'll never forget walking down the hallway and seeing Lloyd Keith and Trey Moore reading books from the Conflict of Ages series. These are teenagers. I'm like, what is that? You know, Trey, he's a genius. He's like, oh, this is Patriarchs and Prophets. I had heard of the books. They were in my home, but I'd never read them. David Conkright. From you, I always was like, yo, this dude just kind of has this sensitivity, this awareness that God engages us. Like, he speaks to us. There were some decisions that we made. Rashad would come into church.
Here we go.
And he'd be like, Rich, I don't know, man. We need to walk. I'm like, what is on your mind today? Rashad would be like, man, let's just walk and pray. And so before I knew it, it's me, Shad,
Simeon,
Justin Stringer. And we're literally walking. We're beyond. We got our diplomas, our degrees, and graduate stuff, so we can't get in trouble now. But we literally left church.
Walked out of church.
Went down by the Manatawny, and we're just talking about God. And each of us, really looking back, was not only in our own individual places in life, but contributed to that conversation. But that's just one example of the overall blessing, I would agree, of those early seeds that God put in your life that preceded, again, a formal call or acceptance of it. But was just like, I'm a son of God. You know what I mean?
And I want to affirm this, especially now, when it comes to Pine Forge, and I think it's significant now where we are in Earth's, in particular, American history. Pine Forge being one of the few historically black boarding high schools that still exist. What's unique about Pine Forge is it affords young black children an opportunity to lead authentically. In a way that I truly believe you can't find anywhere else.
I agree.
And I don't care what time period you were there, the faculty and staff are anointed by God to give young people space to operate. Like, I look back as an adult now and be like, they really gave us trust.
They sure did. Teenagers.
To impact spiritual formation. And I'm like, who would I be if I had not gone there? And like, obviously a big part of that is the community. friends and brothers and sisters for life.
For sure.
Like, that's already unique
Yeah.
in the world, period. So, man, Pine Forge in that time period was so important
Sure.
to so many of us.
Any highlights that you can think of from your time at Oakwood, subsequent to now changing, and I'm just doing a single major,
Yeah.
whether it was in the classroom, in the social element, how did Oakwood really come alongside you to kind of nurture what was already there?
Yeah, so at Oakwood, it's a bigger tank. It's
Okay.
a bigger bowl. Pine Forge, a smaller fish bowl. You come to Oakwood, and everybody's gifted.
Yeah, from everywhere.
Ooh, everywhere. The best of the best of our denomination comes through. So you have the best singers, the best preachers, some of the best minds.
Yeah.
And I think it's really kind of a trying ground. And I remember, again, one of the things I think that Pine Forge does give you, and this sometimes rubs people the wrong way, but it gives you a confidence.
Yes.
It really cultivates a
It does.
confidence. And the confidence that I was given from Pine Forge when I came to Oakwood, it positioned me to not feel like I was in competition with other people who were gifted also.
Definitely.
Which allowed me to be like, hey, I'm in a new tank, I'm in a new context, let me learn from you. So I remember the Michael Weeches.
Yep.
I remember the Nicardo Delahaye's.
Yep.
It was Nicardo. I'll never forget it, man. I don't even know if he said it to me directly. I was blessed during my time at Oakwood to be the AY
Sure.
director. And I worked with Nicardo when he was the AY director. And I don't know if he even knows this, but I just tried to do my best to follow his lead.
Sure.
And in doing that, he was cultivating me to be the next leader, and I had no idea, and he saw that.
Yeah.
And I think that what Oakwood does that is unique is it brings you alongside other gifted people to test if you can operate in humility even when you have your own gifts.
Come on now.
You have to you have to continue to serve from a place of humility, because there's somebody who's going to outpreach you.
Yep.
Someone who's going to outsing, someone who's going to be more administratively gifted.
Sure.
And it's like, do I want to be in competition with them, or do I want to learn competencies from them?
Yeah.
I want to learn from them.
Yeah.
So it was amazing, man, to be able to see the seniors, the juniors, and the sophomores in my time here just, they sharpened. They definitely sharpened me and those around me.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you adopted that frame of thinking, because you actually began to draw from that as you sent stuff, I guess, up directionally back to Pine Forge. So we would talk, and you guys were like saying to us, hey guys, man, like, we can't wait for y'all to get to Oakwood.
Yeah.
Because there are just some other minds here. I remember hearing the names, many of which you've mentioned, before I arrived.
Yeah.
So that kind of set the tone for us to say, when you come down here, as many meaningful experiences we're having up at Pine Forge, just know now you get a chance to rub shoulders with so many other people. And man, your Nicardo Delahaye's, as you said, your Michael Weeches, just a leadership acumen at such a young age that, looking back, you're like, that was very, I would say, unusual.
Yeah, man.
And it doesn't surprise me to see many of the pathways that God has led a number of individuals on now.
Exactly.
Right?
You have Nicardo, who's secretary of Northeastern Conference. Though I was in the honors wing, I would often go down to where Doc Willis and Aldwin Johnson were, and you had Abraham Henry, the president-elect of the Lake Region Conference, first millennial president.
For sure. For sure.
And those were just the guys
in the dorm.
That we just looked up to.
For sure.
I'm going to keep shouting out Nicardo. I got a lot of love for him. I remember him, even from a preaching standpoint, he would come to me and be like, hey, man, have you really listened to the preachers who came before us?
Wow.
And he would share with me Walter Pearson's sermon. He's like, yo, you have to hear this one. And it really raised the taste level.
That's a good word. That's a good word.
Of what preaching, the delivery portion of preaching really could and should be.
Sure.
So, yeah, man.
Sure.
Yeah, man.
You mentioned your dad.
Yeah, man.
Doc Burden.
Doc Burden.
One of the hardest working pastors I know.
Yeah.
One of the pastors who is the most comfortable in his own skin.
Yeah.
I've been around and had the privilege of serving with him as a Bible worker, to meetings, and then just in the Allegheny West field, just being around. He was very instrumental in affording, no pun intended, literally providing resources, funding to me during my Oakwood tenure. What are some of the things you saw in him that you draw on still?
Man, when you say hardworking, to this day, I cannot keep up with him. So my father, I believe his greatest superpower is the way that he navigates people.
Okay.
And I watched as a kid, not only the way he treated people, but to the extent he would serve them. So I remember vividly, there would be members who would be moving. And he pastored in Allegheny West in Ohio at the time. And I'd watch him go and pick up a U-Haul truck and drive them down to Alabama, to Huntsville.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this pastoral ministry? So he really shaped what I believe pastoral ministry looks like. And he has such a beautiful evangelistic mind.
He sure does.
Also, where, and I think maybe this is where I get it from. It's kind of hitting me as I'm sharing it. I've never actually seen my dad preach an evangelistic series. I've seen him manage one.
Yeah.
He'll always bring in a Rupert Bushner, a Marquise Johns, myself, somebody to preach. But it showed me that evangelism isn't just preaching, that there is administrative acumen and work that has to be put in, and he is a master of that.
He sure is.
And yeah, man, I think I've seen God through him baptize over 100 people 3-4 times over the course of his ministry, man. And you're talking about someone who just allows God to lead in how he deals with people.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
I've been on the receiving end of that. I've seen it in action.
Yeah.
He makes evangelism fun.
Yeah.
As detail-oriented as he is, as much as he's a clear thinker and he's kind of always a few steps ahead, it never comes off like that. Like sometimes you can kind of say like, yo, how's he doing this and being so smooth? I'll never forget one time at Ephesus, we were on the pulpit. I think I was home from school. And he used to have like this desk where he'd put his Bible in water and they had drawers. And he said, Rich, check this out. So he pulled out the drawer and there was like a lot of change and some dollar bills in that joint. And he was just like, this way, I always got money for children's offering. I was like, who thinks of that? Yeah. He was like, I always got something. And that was just one example of different times where you could tell he had given the thought, but he let it come off in a way. Yeah. He talked to us about how you plan your calendar, how you have your moments built out. You know, it'd be 2025 as an example. He would already be in 2027. Even if it was just an idea, he said, I already made contact with this person. But shout out to Donald Burden, man. I've only seen him get flustered once. And it wasn't even flustered, not to be confused. Like, he wasn't flustered. He was just upset with us. So we were helping him out. And somehow or another, it was like one of those meetings where we had the Sabbath service. Everybody's going to go eat, but we knew we needed to be back at a certain time. And we were like 30 minutes late. And boy, we came in. And we were trying to, Doc. And he just put his hands up. He was like, Yeah. And I was like, oh, snap. Like, we got under Doc's skin, and he don't even roll like that. No. But shout out to Dr. Burden, because I think you're right. His evangelistic mind is beautiful. And the thing is, for me, I've seen him go anywhere and do what he does. Yeah. He's like, no, exactly. I'm going to be me. Yeah. And it's going to get done. And I think that's a lesson that we could learn to say, hey, we're not always able to choose our spots. Right. But we can always choose the system that we plant, the culture that we seek to nurture. And I can definitely see those connections between his ministry. I think you guys are similar in many ways, but at the same time, very different. Yeah. Right? Which is not always easy to kind of pull off. Yeah. But I appreciate you just kind of pinpointing and just highlighting some of those things that you drew on from him.
No, for sure, man. One of the most enjoyable things I've done in the last 2 years, I did 2 years? I actually hired him as my evangelistic consultant.
Oh, really?
For our evangelistic effort we did in San Diego. And the Lord blessed. Sure. And he actually brought me as his Pentecost 2025 speaker. Nice. There at the Ridge at Avon Park, Florida. And I think there is something to be said, and I'm biased about this because this is my area of academic expertise. There's something to be said about multi-generational synergy in ministry, where you couple the knowledge, the wisdom, and the experience of the season with the passion, the creativity, and the ideas of those who are up and coming. And one of the things that's starting to not sit well in my spirit is how few young people, because I'm not even young anymore. How few, and I'll give an age range, how few 22 to 28-year-olds are being given opportunities to try stuff. Just try. I'm not saying it's going to work out every time, but just to try stuff. And with the rhythm and the wave and the way that our church is, our denomination is going, I really believe, and I'm thoroughly biased, that it's going to necessitate a multi-generational synergy in ministry. So yeah, man, that's my hobby horse.
That's real.
that's my soapbox.
You pursued further education beyond Oakwood. Give us quickly what you pursued and achieved, and then unpack what your area of expertise is.
For sure. So I received my PhD in organizational leadership from Southeastern University in Lakeland, Florida.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely wonderful program. I recommend it to so many. We have some more of our people there now. I studied specifically creative leadership in perceptions of creative leadership in multi-generational nonprofit organizations. And what that basically means is I researched how do organizations that have constituents, have employees, have teams that are made up of people who were born at different times, have seen different things, come together and leverage their unique story and experience to better the organization. And God has blessed, man. Yes, I am a proud pastor of the 31st Street Seventh-day Adventist Church, but I'm also very proud that I'm also a consultant. God has blessed that I've been able to work with the University of San Diego. I've worked with several different nonprofits, Salvation Army, a bunch that I could name, to go in and have conversations about that very thing. The church is unique in comparison to other nonprofits, whereas most nonprofits have 4 generations present in the workplace, while the church still has 6.
Wow. That's a profound insight.
No, there's 6, because we still have what they call the silent generation, the traditionalists, who are still present and because we're so healthy, very active in our church. And each generation, though you don't want to generalize, does have very specific life-marking events that we've witnessed that shape not only how we see the world, but how we see leadership. And because of that, our church is in a very unique position to leverage those things because we have so much wealth when it comes to knowledge and experience.
No, that's excellent. And like you said, you gave an illustration already between you and your father. And we could give even more about how we have been on the receiving end of other generations taking time to pour into us, give us a chance to try, give us a chance to kind of just kick the tires. I have this idea.
Hey, my friend, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you've ever been in a season of transition or faced with decisions and deadlines, you know how difficult it can be to explore the best options and the details that are necessary for you to consider. Moreover, you don't just want to make these decisions in isolation. You don't want to be impulsive because there are a lot of people and factors that you have to be mindful of. And if you're like me, you want to know God's best for your life, God's will for your life, His designs and desires for your life. It's for people like you and like me in moments of consideration that I wrote the book Ordered Steps, a guide to knowing God's will for your life. Sometimes God speaks immediately, and then other times God speaks eventually, but I do believe God speaks ultimately, and it's His insight and oversight and foresight that we need when it comes to making decisions in the context of His will. Click the link in the description to secure your copy of Ordered Steps today, and know that I'm praying for you as you walk in His will for your life. God bless you. Peace.
You had an idea, you and Dr. James Doggett Jr. Had an idea, but it didn't stay in the ideating form. You guys actually launched it in the Lake Region area.
Yeah, man.
Give us some background to where that came from. Because when I first heard about it, it was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
But again, I'm not surprised, because when I heard the names attached, I was like, well, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Tell the people what that was, where it came from, and here's the critical, why was it necessary to try that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's going to pull at my heartstrings, because before I share exactly what that was, God is forming this thing in me, and it's starting to become very concrete and clear that just because something doesn't turn out how you want it to be doesn't mean you should let it die.
All right.
Because purpose is often time sensitive, and just because it didn't work this time doesn't mean it won't work next time.
Yeah.
I was pastoring in Atlanta, Georgia, and I went to speak for Dr. James Doggett Jr. I believe he was in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It's myself and my good friend Justin Stringer, and preached. And I remember we were at the house one day, and I believe that the Spirit of the Lord was present. And we began to talk about what church could look like.
Yeah.
And this statement rose to the top, where we said that people in this day and age, and at that point, it was 2013, 14, give or take. We were like, people are more likely to show up to a fashion show, cold turkey, than they would a church service. They're more likely to show up to a concert of an artist than a church service. So why not leverage the arts
Come on now.
as ministry?
Come on now.
And that's when the idea of Grace Theater was born.
Yeah.
And there have been very few things to this very moment that have captured my heart and my imagination like Grace Theater. So we began to talk about cities, and we knew that it needed to be a major metropolitan city. And what ended up happening was Detroit caught our attention because of the people who were there.
Sure.
Because without fail, your purpose will always be connected to people, and people will be your most valuable provision. I'm trying to figure out how transparent I'm trying to be with this one. I remember we talked it through. We worked on a business plan. We even began to ask people for money, and people started giving us money to do this thing in Detroit, Michigan. And the biggest, I think the most major moment was when I decided, and by that time I was pastoring in Dothan, Alabama, I decided that I was just going to go. I was just going to go and figure out what was happening.
Yeah.
We had put together a team, and I remember, oh man, it was Sydney, it was Justin Davis, bunch of folk. We had pulled together a team, and at that point, Sydney, she and her sister had a location in downtown Detroit, and we used that one. And when I went myself, I just began to walk around downtown Detroit.
Sure.
This sounds crazy as I'm saying it right now. I literally, not knowing anything, began to walk around downtown Detroit, and I ended up coming across an arts center.
Sure.
And I walked in the arts center, and I loved the look of it. And I was like, hey, can we have a worship service here? And they were like, sure.
Wow.
And I'll never forget the very first one. I brought my brother. His name is Ronson Evans. He goes by Petey.
Yep.
I brought him and his partner in. They ministered, and we partnered with a dance company and some local fashion designers. So that night we had music, dance, and fashion.
Yeah.
And what I saw, just on a practical level, it just made so much sense. It wasn't because I was smart. It was because I was obedient. We had the dance group come in, and they are people who live lives who have their own connections.
Yeah.
And they're like, we have a show coming up. Family members come. We had fashion designers. They have their own following in the city.
Yeah.
So I don't know who's going to show up, but when I get there, there are very few Seventh-day Adventists.
Wow.
But there are a bunch of people to support those other people.
Yeah.
And we do all of that, and we're upfront with them. And I preach at the end. I'm 10, 15 minutes, quick and in a hurry.
Yeah.
And they received it. I knew it was confirmed and affirmed when the service was done. Individuals came up to me and was like, I have not been to church in so many years.
Wow.
I didn't know that I was coming to a church like this.
Yeah.
What can I do to make sure that this keeps happening?
Wow.
And they started giving money to make sure it keeps happening. That art organization ends up losing that location. And we were like, oh no, what are we going to do? Mm-hmm. They end up getting another location that's downtown off of Woodward. For those who don't know Detroit, Michigan, that is right downtown. That is in Dan Gilbert territory, right next to the Lions Stadium. We are in, because I have a relationship with them, that means that that's where our church, I will never forget, I have videos on my phone. It is this large H&M size space with art, that's an art gallery.
Sure.
And we have worship there, and because there's glass, people just start walking in. And I remember we had about 3 worship service in that space, and we were at around 100, 150 people.
Wow.
We didn't know many of them.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
They were there. Grace Theater, man. It's still one of my favorite things that God has ever told me to do.
Yeah. But see, man, that's the thing, going back to Roanoke, Virginia.
Yeah.
God speaks.
God speaks.
God sends. And I think, again, I love that statement as a leadership principle, as a life principle. It's not always that I'm so smart, but obedience becomes the response. When God's love awakens our responsive love to him, one of the best demonstrations of love is obedience. Yeah. And normally we can limit that to like commandments, but just the directed steps of God. That takes courage, it takes confidence, and a kind of dependence on God to say, okay, I'm gonna go. But man, to leverage, like you all said, there's a wonderful book called Reset by Chip and Dan Heath. And he talks about when you're wanting to change culture, find leverage points. Yeah. Leveraging the arts. And yeah, I want to follow this so many different ways because it was what it needed to be. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that the door is closed permanently. No. Right? No. I would dare say that, time will only tell how the ripples effect that was started then are continuing, right? Some of the names you mentioned through Sydney and Petey and others, man, who have creative minds. Went to school with Sydney up in Berrien Springs. Now, when you're at Pine Forge, we wear uniforms, right? So we don't really get a chance to see the creativity sartorially as much as we did after we left, man. Right. Bro, you wed, in my mind, a wonderful mix of your interest in the arts, fashion, as you mentioned, comics, movies, music, all of those things, while at the same time realizing I'm a slave to Christ. Yeah, man. Right? First and foremost, I'm a family man. Yeah. I will look online, I'll be like, Rashad's at some other con, Comic Con, Sneaker Con, you know what I mean? Yeah. How do you, for somebody out there who's still trying to find their way, and maybe they feel locked into an what's the word I want to use? An avatar of what it means to be a minister or a leader. They have this certain template in mind. Right. How would you counsel that person to, discover themselves and be themselves?
No, that's good, man. 2 things I would point out. Number 1, God called you, not the person people want you to be.
My goodness. Lord have mercy.
So the moment you try to do things that are not authentic to you, it becomes, you invite a tension with being obedient to the call of God. That's the first thing. The second thing, and this is something I think I really picked up this year, Cleon, Steal Like an Artist is the name of the book. He encourages not really stealing, but being comfortable with the fact that very few, if any at this point, very few ideas are original.
Okay.
I am comfortable with the fact that Prince is my favorite artist of all time.
Put it on record, Doc.
There's some other artists that I'll leave nameless, but if you want to find your center in ministry, I would advise you to really be sure you know who you are, what you value, what actually interests you and makes you happy.
Yeah.
The thing, and this is, I'm on another soapbox. I have fun pastoring.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. God has blessed me, and we've talked about this off the record, to be at a church that somehow, some way has accepted me just as I am.
From day one.
From day one.
Yeah.
Like from the jump. Like if you go to, 31st Street YouTube channel, the stuff and thank you, 31st Street, if you're watching this, they have embraced how I believe God is leading me.
Yeah.
And it's not without confrontation, because they will share with me, and I try my best to make sure I create space to receive what they're saying and things like that. But they're like, if it makes sense and no one's being hurt and it's not against the word of God, let's try it.
Yeah.
So God's placed me in a place like that. But I truly believe you find your center of authenticity and know who you are, because man, God created you to be you, and if he called you to minister, he wants you to minister the way you would do it.
Yeah.
So no one can minister like you.
For sure.
No one.
That's real, man. We needed that on the record.
Yeah.
Just to hear, and I don't care if you've been kind of entertaining a call, not just to ministry, but whatever your vocation is in life.
Yeah.
Or if you've been down a certain path for a long time, we can all wrestle with that question, who am I?
Yeah.
In competition with who do I perceive people, who is it that I perceive people want me to be?
Yeah.
And those two things don't always agree, but when you can have clarity of values, clarity of identity, I love it. That helps you avoid that tension with obedience.
Yeah. And I'll say this, man. You, Doc Willis, Doc Corey Johnson, Doc Austin Humphreys, Doc James Doggett, having a community of individuals around me who are comfortable in their own skin, comfortable in their own calling, comfortable in their own gifting, encourages me to be comfortable in who I am.
Likewise,
too. Having mentors and people who can speak life into me, like Pastor Knight, Pastor Bird, my father, my Uncle Jeffrey Watson. In fact, one who I often do not mention, but I need to. I thought about it because I saw him, Pastor Jerome Hurst.
Yeah, for sure.
I was telling my wife just yesterday, he was the first pastor to affirm that I was a good preacher.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, we were sitting there at Allegheny West Camp Pitch, and we were at the table, and we were just talking, and we were talking about preaching. And he started going off on this rant about who's a real preacher versus a teacher. And he was like, so-and-so is a preacher. Richard is a preacher. Rashad is a preacher. It was just random, random ramble. Little does he know, he affirmed something in me. Yeah. I think who you surround yourself with encourages you or discourages you to be who you really are. Yeah. And I'm blessed, man.
That's a word. That's a word. Man. Shout out to Pastor Jerome Hurst.
Man. Yes.
And his family.
Yes, indeed.
Shout out to Pastor Jerome Hurst. He fed us well.
Yes, he did.
At Camp Pitch. I remember that moment like it was yesterday. We were right there on the grounds house at the campground in Thornville. Pastor Jerome Hurst, we were there as a choir singing when he was at Hilltop. I'll never forget the sermon he preached that day. He called it radical praise.
Come on now.
And I can see him, just like it was yesterday, preaching about Bartimaeus. and how when the folks tried to silence him, he shouted all the louder. And in his own unique manner of preaching, man, I was just convicted. I was like, yo, who is this dude?
Yeah.
Went to school with his sisters, had the chance to serve in leadership at Pine Forge with his daughter, Jeree.
Yeah.
And so that principle is so essential.
Yeah.
Who you surround yourself with, the voices that speak into your life, can encourage you.
Yeah.
And see, I didn't know in that moment that it was affirming on that level, but I guess that's another thing. You never know.
Yeah.
He's just speaking honestly. It flowed off the tongue, and I'm glad that he did do that. And there's so many others who I think have taken time to do that for us down through the years, and I think it's incumbent upon us to do that for other people.
For sure.
You and I have intersecting friend circles, and then we also have separate friend circles, even as much as we're connected.
Yeah.
You've been doing something here for the past, it's been over a year now, where you have been kind enough at a certain point in your journey to kind of bring in the world, as it were, into your grieving journey. We just lost a brother of ours last year, August.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say his name because I want you to say his name.
Yeah, man.
And walk us through how your friendship developed.
Ooh.
And then how the Lord is helping you you mentioned earlier, like we're in that season of life, professionally, personally, but man, we're in that season of life where this stuff is wild.
It is, man.
And it doesn't feel any better, but I want you to bring us in on what God is teaching you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. August 6th, I'll never forget it, man. Got to call my good friend. It's so crazy because, like, when I think about best friends, when people would ask me that, who's your best friend? I would never name him.
Yeah.
Because he was more like a brother.
Yeah.
So Justin Stringer and I, we met at Pine Forge freshman year, and the genesis, I've shared this in a different form, the genesis of our friendship actually came from talking about a girl. Her name is Taina Blow. Now, her name then was Taina Madeir.
Yeah.
My sister. Got nothing but love for her and Sam. And we talked about her, and he was asking advice of me about how to navigate things, and we were just chopping it up there at Pine Forge. From that point, because I lived in New York and he lived in New York, our lives just continued to intersect, and we just built this brotherhood. I remember one summer between, I think it was sophomore and junior year, we went to a place called Jamaica Avenue and bought Jordans. They were probably very fake because they were very cheap. So you have Pine Forge. I went to Oakwood. He went to AUC, but we stayed connected then.
Sure.
After I graduated Oakwood and began to pastor in Dayton, Ohio, he and I would Skype. That was a thing back then. And he, at that point, I believe, lived in Bermuda. And we would Skype often and talk. And another significant juncture in my life, God told me to go to minister in Atlanta, Georgia. And I got on Skype, hit him up, and I'm like, yo, Justin, God told me to go to Atlanta. You want to come?
Yeah.
And he was like, yes. That man quit his job. He was a CNA, quit his job, got on the plane, and met me in Atlanta, Georgia.
Good night. Yeah.
So we lived together for that time period in Atlanta. I actually lived with him for a summer, handling some school stuff. We lived together in Atlanta, and we met like our tribe of people there in Atlanta, my crew. And when you live that type of life, in that type of proximity with someone, it's just the roots get really, really deep. Man. And a brotherhood, man. You're talking someone, and I think this is not as always as unique in the Adventist circles. You're talking about someone that I would leave my wife with. Yeah. And I trust it. Yeah. Like, no question. I call him, take care of my wife. And it's going to be good. Leave my kids with him. Yeah. Type thing. And yeah, man. August 6th of 2024, he passed away. And I'm a pastor. I do funerals. Yeah. Have helped others say goodbye to the dearest on earth. That thing changed me
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
I cry easier now.
Mm-hmm.
I cry a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
I cry for happy things easier. I cry for sad things easier.
Mm.
And with him, for those who knew him, like I heard one of his jokes that are inappropriate in my head, and I can't say it.
I'm with you.
But he was such, not only a big person,
Yeah.
he was a big personality.
Mm-hmm.
His voice, you can hear it. If
Yeah.
you ever met him, you can hear it right
Yeah.
now.
I can hear it too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that, no, I know the words in Psalm 34, 18, 19, Lord is close to those of a broken spirit.
Yeah.
I didn't feel it, but I was aware of it. I don't think I've ever been closer to God than walking through that valley.
Yeah.
And still walking through it, man. Like, coming to Huntsville is tough now.
Yeah.
Because coming down Wind Drive,
Yeah.
I know he's over there.
All of it
Man,
comes back.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So he was the affirmation of my superhero complex.
Yeah, man. I mean, it couldn't have been a match better made in heaven in terms of friendship. And I guess we're trying to really lay that out. I think people get it. Because you guys have like a kind of special evolution of your relationship. Doc Willis, you, me, others laid down roots at Pine Forge, but our paths went so many different ways. But you and String got to have something very special because one, and by the way, he was with us and Sims when we went, right?
Exactly.
So he's not a pastor, nothing like that, but yet has this, when we would be in dialogue, he has thoughts, son of a pastor.
Exactly.
So he comes from church and stuff like that. But you could tell he was a thinker.
For sure.
He had insight. He had position. He had that incomparable humor.
Yeah.
Which I think comedy and genius go hand in hand, right?
They do.
Like you mentioned, larger than life. I think I can say this story because if I told the story in his presence, he would laugh this roof off.
Right.
So, you know, at Pine Forge, you got the dorm situation and you got the bathrooms and stuff like that. So he's a year ahead of me. And so I'll never forget, I'm coming in the bathroom one day to shower and String's already showered. So he's coming out and he has just the towel on. And it was a spontaneous reaction. I just stopped and I was like, and he said, in his voice, he said, "It looked good, don't it?" This big dude, man, towel on. Ooh. And man, everybody bust out laughing. That was String.
Yeah.
He was never going to be caught off guard. Like he just had a way, his whole world was up for engagement. He would embrace you. I can still feel him putting his arm around me.
Yeah, man.
Richard, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man.
And see, the reason why I think it's valuable to say his name, to have the opportunity, is because, I mean, there are other names we could mention of friends that we've lost.
Yeah.
I think it makes it important for us to cherish the time that we have with people.
For sure.
You know, we hear these cliches like gone too soon, but when these things hit, you feel it. I know you feel it on a level that's just like, it does something. Like you said, it changes you.
Yeah.
There's another moment where he was in the hospital. This was before. Mm-hmm. And you said, call him. Mm. And I called him. And I'm sharing this story because you got to get who this guy was.
Yeah.
So we hadn't talked in a while. And he picked up. And I said, String, do you know who this is? He didn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
He said, Richard Martin? And I said, String. And that classic characteristic laugh.
Yeah.
He bust out laughing. He said, son.
Yeah.
Dude. And we talked. He just poured love out. We prayed together. But one of the most loving persons you'll ever meet. Now, you were I don't know how you did that, by the way, leading at the service. you were very transparent in calling those who were there to think deeper. Because we have friends, we have relationships, and I think what it did for me was it just sensitized, like, yo, we all be struggling.
Yeah, man.
And all I want to say is everybody needs a friend to struggle with.
That's real. No, that's real, man.
Yeah.
That's real. That was something else.
Yeah.
That was definitely something else. To your point, and I think it impacts. Some people can compartmentalize or say
Sure.
they compartmentalize, but you are one whole person.
Yeah, definitely.
And I believe that everything, to some degree, affects everything else.
Yeah.
And having someone, like you said, that you can be 100% yourself with, no reservations, I breathe easy in your presence,
Yeah.
is invaluable. And I think that pastorally speaking, it's even more important to have that person or group of people, because every time you walk into the church, every time you step into the pulpit, there are unrequested expectations
Definitely.
on you and who you are and how you should live. And if you cannot retreat and find a rhythm in being able to exhale with people who know who you are, love who you are, and accept who you are,
Yeah.
you'll burn out.
Yeah. Big time. You can include grief in this, but I'm interested in knowing, what do you do to maintain the balance of emotional wellness, resilience?
Yeah.
How do you do that? What are some practices that you incorporate?
Yeah, man. So one of the services that I give as a consultant is what I call leadership balance coaching. And basically, I just try my best to lead people to be sensitive to body, mind, and soul.
Okay.
And I have to do that for myself so that I can be, and this is my principle, I believe that rest is a gift from God that allows you to be the best version of yourself for everybody around you. That having Sabbath, and when I say Sabbath, yes, church, yes, worship service, but no. Sabbath is a rest rhythm that God gives you so that trust becomes natural.
That's profound, man.
So what I do personally is I try to give attention to those pieces. Body, my church is not my only sanctuary. That 24-hour fitness in Escondido, California,
You're the head deacon.
is, man, I am the chair of that board. I do not, you may not get a pickup, you may not get a reply if you hit me up between 8:30 and 9:30, give or take.
Yeah.
Pacific Standard Time.
That's rest.
Because that is my sanctuary, that is my rest physically. You cannot separate the physical from the mental and the emotional. My day, the trajectory and the hue of my day is often impacted by how that workout goes. So that's the physical. Mentally, I like what soon to be, I guess, retired President Ben Jones says on his answering machine.
Yeah.
He says that the mind grows by taking in, but the heart grows by giving out.
Wow.
You have to take in things
Sure.
mentally. You have to expose yourself to quality books, podcasts, preaching. One thing that I have intentionally exposed myself to educationally, because I do lean into the creative as much as I can, is I don't just go to preaching religious church conferences.
Sure.
Every year for the past 7 years or so, I go to a cultural convention called Complex Con.
Okay.
It's been held in Long Beach. It's moved to Las Vegas. And I get exposed to some of the most creative people from across the country,
Yeah.
from across the world. And I'm like, okay, I see it, and my thought is, how can this be taken out of the enemy's hands
Sure.
and redeemed by God?
Sure.
So I make sure that I try to make my education diverse.
Yeah.
And then my spirit. Lately, and this is just me, I'm not saying everyone should do this. All last year, 2024, and this year, 2025, last year, I was in one chapter of the Bible all year long.
Yes, sir.
Devotionally.
Yeah.
Obviously, I got to preach different sermons.
Yeah,
from different
yeah.
texts. I was in Psalm 91
Wow.
all year. This year, it's been Psalm 27.
Okay.
The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? I want the impression of the Spirit to be so deep that it can never wear off.
Yeah.
And repetition deepens the impression.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised how deep the well of one scripture is, man.
Yeah.
When you go back to it over and over again. So I establish those rhythms
Yeah.
to make sure I rest. Now, let me say, and I speak to you in this moment, one of my members saw me, especially when we first moved to California. Make sure you give grace to yourself if you are physically sick, if you are taking care of a family member, you're a caretaker, or if you have young children.
Okay.
Those are not seasons of rest.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's okay.
Yeah.
You will not be able to access that same, especially on a physical level.
Yeah.
And sometimes mental and emotional, because it's all connected. In those particular 3 seasons, when
Sure.
when you're dealing with health issues, if you are a caretaker of a parent or a loved one, or if you have young children,
Yeah.
those spaces, they ask a lot of you,
Yeah.
and God sees you there.
Yeah. That's word received, man, and wisdom accepted. Talk to us, because you said you have fun in ministry.
Yes, I do.
You've got fun in your friendships, and man, I see it. You have fun in your family life.
I do.
We've already established we've gone back, and so we've seen each other in our pursuits of careers.
My.
We have developed and matured in terms of our relational acumen.
My. That was
And God
well
has
put.
been gracious to us
Tread softly, sir.
and allowing us to be the husbands of one wife.
One wife, man.
And now, by God's grace, I've joined the club.
Come on now.
As a daddy.
Yes, sir.
And even
Girl
saying
dad
that.
at
Girl
that,
dad
too,
at that. Talk to us, man, about how you maintain that nucleus of home with your irons and so many different fires.
Yeah.
How does home remain sweet?
That's one thing that I learned watching not my parents, but my uncle,
Okay.
Pastor Jeffrey Watson, Marilyn Watson, my Aunt Marilyn. Another evangelist,
Yep.
like
Excellent.
like exceptionally successful evangelist. I never saw him neglect my aunt.
Wow.
Like, I saw him home. He was everywhere he needed to be, but most of all, he was home. And it was really, he modeled well what it looks like to have home be your primary ministry.
My God.
And because I saw that, like, I think you watched my my installation
I sure
to
did.
31st Street. I will verbally inform you that I will never choose my church over my wife or my kids in that order. And that has to be not only in word, but in action.
Yeah.
And that calls for intentionality when it comes to scheduling.
Sure.
When it comes to the things and visions that God gives you, even, and how you execute them.
Yeah.
For me, at home, as I'm watching my children grow, my daughter in particular, she is attention intensive.
Sure.
My son, he just needs to talk sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I have a mission and a vision for my church,
Sure.
I need to have a mission and vision for my family.
Okay.
And that needs to include body, mind, soul.
Wow.
That needs to include our pursuit of God, but also our pursuit of happiness. So the evangelistic effort and the family vacation are on the same level.
Yeah. Yeah. That's real.
They have to be. Wow. And My daughter has picked up the eclectic creative thing. Me coloring, drawing, watching my daughter create is just as important as me jumping on that Zoom board meeting.
Yeah.
In fact, it's more important.
Wow.
Because, yes, I will have to answer for where God has placed me ministry-wise, but I'm really going to have to answer about that little girl and my son. So for me, it's the same thing. I need to establish a rhythm where I love my wife the way she needs to be loved, not the way I want to love her. And I need to make sure that I am vigilant and aware of the development of my kids.
My God.
Yeah, man.
You an author.
Woo!
Talk to us about what is here and what is to come.
So, I have released, at this point, I believe, a children's book called The Builder's Child.
Yes, sir.
It was inspired by the birth and the raising the first year of life of my daughter. And it is a reminder that no matter what life throws at you, you are the builder's child, and he rejoices when you build the dreams that he gives you.
Yeah.
I am about a third of the way through my first academic writing venture, a book entitled Kaleidoscope Leadership.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, man. It's time. It's time, man.
Woo! Yes, sir.
Kaleidoscope Leadership. Leadership that sees the light through ever-changing lenses. And that will draw on... We coming, man.
Oh, Sean, I can't.
We're going to get there
right now.
We're going to get there, man.
Woo!
And it is the result of my academic pursuits and now my consulting experience, man. I love church. I like good luck pulling me away from 31st Street.
Sure.
Being able to go to the University of San Diego, a Catholic institution with wonderful people, wonderful leadership. Being able to minister, being able to lead groups with the Salvation Army, being able to step in and service the county of San Diego. Being in those spheres, man, has been so educational to me.
Yeah.
And I believe that creativity is so undervalued in leadership, and that every leader should be equipped to see things clearly and be able to move nimbly through any circumstance.
Yeah.
And that's what Kaleidoscope Leadership is going to be about.
I can't wait, man.
Oh, I'm excited about that.
Let us know when to pre-order, for real.
Yeah, I will.
And that just is a perfect title that captures what I think has been a thesis here of this conversation, but also I think of the unique ways in which God has equipped you, educated you, consecrated you to lead and to serve your family, the church, but also the world at this time, my brother. Lastly, what I would like you to do is, if you can think of Rashad Burden in 15 years, and you got to say a message to him to measure against 15 years from now, you listen back to this conversation.
Yeah.
What are you saying to that version of yourself?
I'm speaking to future Rashad.
Future Rashad.
Oh. You did it. You listened. You followed through. You executed. His word did not return to him void. You did it. Lean in it. Lean in on it. And know that even now, the best is yet to come.
That's it right there. Hey, my boy. Thank you for taking time, man.
This is good, man.
Yes, sir.
Good to my soul, man.
It took us back, and I'm just so grateful for the evolution and the maturation. We couldn't have seen this, and we saw a lot. We would talk a lot, visions and dreams and prayers and aspirations. But I would dare say where we are now is even sweeter.
It is.
and I connect with you. The best is yet to come. Tell the people where they can follow you to continue to track your ministry and your work.
Yeah, man. I am mostly on Instagram. Do not message me on Facebook. I will not see it. At Pastor R. Burden on Instagram. You can email me at pastorrburden@icloud.com to reach out to me. If you want to find my children's book, you can actually go to thebuilderschild.com and order there. And if you desire any consulting services, any coaching services, you can actually go to lebronche.com. That's LEBRONCHE.com. And you'll see my services there. I'd love to come and just work with you wherever you are and see how God can move.
Hey, listen, whether you are leading a family, leading a church, leading a nonprofit organization, leading a multi-billion-dollar organization, I can say on good authority that you're dealing with someone who is trustworthy, high character, and highly competent, someone who comes alongside you to help you lead through creativity. I thank you so much for spending time with us here in the living room. This conversation has allowed us to see how beautiful it is when you know who you are and when you know whose you are. Creativity just might be your tool to not only bear the image of God, but glorify the God who gives us his image. Make sure you subscribe, share this with others, that we can all continue to listen, continue to learn, and continue to live together. We'll see you next time.